people that we find are abductees. One, we have people that are actually literally genius level that are abductees. Now, most people think, well, that's what the alien wants. They want all these geniuses. Wrong. They don't care. They don't care about your IQ. Number two, the vast majority of people are average, normal people. Although, like I said, we do have NASA scientists, intelligence people, and all kinds of people that are abductees as well. The third group of people are so deficit in, let's say, the thinking capacities that I can't figure out how they find food. And why the alien has an interest in them, it obviously doesn't have anything to do with IQ, because they're having a difficult time making it in life, much less dealing with the abduction phenomena.
Right.
I suspect that, again, that they're not here. They're not here for those purposes. My suspicion is that the real reason that they're dealing with us, they're doing these various different things, has to do with other things that we may have missed. For instance, out of all the research we've done, we've created some statistics. Those statistics are staggering to some degree. The reason, in my opinion, that the fact is that 45% of the people that we look at in the abduction phenomena, 45%, excuse me, are Native American, Indian, Irish, Celtic. Now, we went to South America. They said, Mr. Sims, why do you come to this country? You're a great investigator. You know, we don't have anything and you have everything. I said, that's not true. And they said, oh, but it is. And I said, it's the reason I've come here is to look at your Indian population. They said, but there are no American Indians here. I said, that's not correct. They said, well, no, I said, you're missing the whole point. I said, 45% of the people taken in the United States are Native American and Irish or Celtic. And they said, well, we don't have. I said, yes, you do. I said, what are you? And they said, we're Portuguese, we're French, we're all these different nations. I said, yes, this is true. The problem is that you've missed or ignored is that when you came here to conquer this country, your ancient relatives, who did they marry? There was nobody here but Indians. I said, for 10 years, the Amazonian Basin Indians were assaulted for over 10 years. And Bob Pratt, in his wonderful book, UFO Danger Zone, cataloged this information and made a tremendous discovery and everything. But these were Native American Indians. Again, if my cosmic airheads on the other side of the aisle think it's they're here to, this because they love the Indians, and Indians are real spiritual and they really get it and all this. Hey, I'm Native American and Irish myself.
Right.
I mean, how do you think I figured that out? The fact is that they're not interested in that, in my opinion. And one scientist asked me, he said, well, then can you tell me what it is that you think that the alien is interested in, if that's not the thing? And I said, yes, I hope I can. And he says, what is it? And I said, well, in my opinion, and I said, and this is just an opinion, in my opinion, I think that they're interested in. I said, well, let's go back to the basics. The Native American Indians and Irish Celtic. Does anybody have a clue? These guys are not friendly. I said, you want a quick haircut? Back in the 17th, 18th century, there are certain people you do not want to mess with. If you go through Lakota or Sioux land, you're looking for some serious major malfunctions with your hairstyle. I said, my point is this. These people are warriors. They were born that way. They're bred that way. It's a warrior society. They love it. They enjoy it. And I said, when I went into the military, I was interviewed by the Central Intelligence Agency. I didn't know it was CIA at the point. But during the interview, the guy says, why did you volunteer? Everybody's getting drafted. Clinton and everybody else took off. Why are you here? And I said, well, my country needs me. I said, I don't particularly like this war. There's a lot of things I disagree with it. But it's my country needs me. I'm here to serve in whatever capacity I can. The guy looked at me as a colonel, and he says, I have got some serious questions for you. And I said, go ahead. He said, I don't get it. Why would you volunteer during a war? And I said, because my family have been warriors since the 12th century. And he says, what does that mean? I said, this is going to sound pretty bizarre. And I said, I'm sure a psychologist could have a field day with it. I said, but combat and warring is what we have done since at least the 12th century, my family, from the Native American side to the Irish side. I said, let me put it in practical senses for you. Do you want your son to go, or do you want me to go? He said, well, you. And I said, exactly. I said, your son may not come back okay. His skills may not even allow him to live. And even if he does come back, he may never be better for the event. In other words, he may have psychological problems for the rest of his life. Mm-hmm. I said, I'll be able to deal with it. I said, as harsh as that may sound, I said, I know what to do with your enemies.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you something. When you're dealing with the Native Americans, are you ever able to show them their hieroglyphs or talk about their ancient history and point out that entities have been abducting their people since knowledge?
You are so sharp. Yes. When I was out at Laughlin this last year, the Laughlin conference under Bob and his lovely daughter asked me if I would speak on behalf of the Laughlin conference for this advertising group. This advertising group had me on about 40 different TV and radio stations from 2 o'clock in the morning till 9 the next morning. And these were shoots that were done outside. It was very cold. And I did advertising. One of the things I did on the ads, and it's a well-paid position, by the way, on the ad was to talk about the Native American aspects of the area and the symbols that we found in the rocks, the hieroglyphs, the paintings, and how that connected to the UFO phenomena, specifically the Native American Indian aspect of my research. And they were very kind the way they mentioned this and did it. So I simply began to speak about this, and as briefly as I could, because these are usually huge sound bites of, I say huge, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then the show's over, other than a couple of questions. Mm-hmm. But basically what I told these people is that even geneticists show that the Irish are a race apart from all the other races. And for those in your audience that want me to respond to that, I'll be glad to send them an article that other people have written in some of our own work about the Native American Indian aspect and what we've determined at this point. But basically, I think overall that the alien, whoever and whatever they are, and again, I'm not comfortable with the word alien because I don't think that describes them properly. Entity. Whatever that, and the entity is not in charge of anything. He just isn't. He's working for somebody else. Now, and I'll get into that in a little bit if you want to cover that from the policing point of view, how we think we know that, and the intelligence point of view. But basically, the Native American Indian aspect of this, as far as I'm concerned, is that they're not here to breed into our races the wonderful attributes of our Native American brothers and sisters. I love these people more than anybody in the world, believe me. My Native American name came from Chief Wendell Chino's grandchildren. I used to play with them on the res whenever in New Mexico when we were building homes for them. I was just a boy at the time. My dad's building homes at the res at Mescalero for the Mescalero Apaches. My point is that this Native American aspect of this thing is so to me it's a huge telling secret that if you just look at it open, very wide-eyed, and just look at it, I think you'll find that the alien is not here to produce any super race of wonderful people or whatever. It seems to me if, and that has not been proven to me yet, but if there is a genetic tampering done, if that exists, my suspicion is that we're going to find that the alien hasn't inserted wonderful genes that increase our IQ and do this and do all this, give us this wonderful potion to drink or something that's going to make us all smart and better. But the fact is what it is that they're, if anything, they're interested in removing things, especially from people like me who appear to be somewhat warlike. And basically when you talk about affecting somebody's civil rights, or you're talking about affecting someone's rights on the Bill of Rights, you know, you rattle that story to me, and I'll go to war over it.
Well,
and do it without even a question.
Okay, well, that's just one of your attributes. What